Fam, welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna get into a quick review here. Of course, before I get into the review, got a couple other things I want to go over on today's video. So first thing, this was a 950 A-frame hat. Do a quick review of this hat because this goes with the review pair that we're discussing today. So I'll do a quick unboxing so y'all can see what we're going with here. And here we go. Beautiful hat. This is black and teal, of course, you know, meant to go perfectly with the review pair we got, except for this little red piece over here, but it'll work. This is the 950 A-frame hat. So, you know, I'll go over some of the hat types so y'all can get an idea of that too, because, you know, this is D's Kicks and Brims, so gotta bring out the brims every once in a while. And when I seen one like this, plus, you know, I got the points on the Foot Locker app, so I was able to get this hat at a discounted price anyway, but you know, goes perfectly with the sneakers. So without further ado, you know, I'll get into the hat review. As you can see, it's the 5-panel hat, A-frame. You know, the high point here is like the main aspect of it. I'll throw it on real quick to show you what we're looking like. Right, it fits good. It's a clean look. You know, if you want something that's a little clean, this one has a little curve to the brim, you know, if you like that. For me, I'm not big on that. I really like, you know, the 5950 style hats. This one is not a 5950, but it's that style hat. It's the 6-panel hat, you know, the North Carolina colored hat that I got here. This one was from Ebbets Field. So, oh no, Ebbets Flannels. Ebbets Flannels, they make some nice hats. I mean, I wish I'd seen more of them. This was a nice one, New York Black Yankees. So, just a nice touch all together on that one. But I'll show you a couple of the other different style of hats, so you know you get an idea of what the difference is if you know, into collecting the hats, or if you just want to know what's the difference between the 5950s, the 950s, the A-frames. I'll go over that real quick with you. All right, so I brought out a couple other hats so y'all can get a feel for the different frames. Now, one of my favorite hats, this right here, you know, gonna be worn during the big game. The U, gotta represent that U, baby. So, love this hat. This hat is from 22, as you can see. It's a 5-panel hat. You can see that it comes up, you know, there's a point towards the front. It's just a nice clean look. Now this one has the flat brim, so I'll throw it on, get a good idea of how this one looks. This one fits pretty big too, you know, and it's a clean overall look, you know. I love the 22 style hats. We'll take it back to the A-frame, which is basically the same hat. Now this one fits a little tighter, but it's a 950, so it's got the snap in the back. So if I want to loosen it up, I'll loosen it up a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. That might help. So let me go back. I want to compare it to the 22, see which one fits better. The 22 definitely fits better, but this one feels better. It feels like the brim is more solid. It feels like a little bit better quality on this New Era. But you know, that's what we come to expect from New Era. New Era is top of the line for a reason. So, you know, this one fits a little tighter on 2 notches. You know, this one was on 2 notches, you know. So the 22 hat definitely fits bigger, you know. So that might be something for y'all if you know, got a bigger head. You know, the 22 hat is a pretty big cap, so it'll work. But the A-frame, still a clean look, still fits good. You know what I mean? Just fits a little bit tighter. I could feel it on my head a little bit more. So the next one up is the 950, which is a snapback, you know, but the 950 is the 6-panel hat. As you can see, it doesn't come up to a point. It's smooth along the top. This right here is really the flagship frame for New Era. Throw that on, and this one fits like the 22 hat. Fits big. You know, you can see the difference of it. Not a whole lot of difference. You know, it's gonna be, you know, maybe have a little more room over here, but I don't see it being a huge difference than what you had on really any of the A-frame, either the A-frame or the 22 hat. You know, I don't see a big difference there. And then you have what I have as my favorite cap, the flagship, so to speak. This is the 5950 fitted cap. So fitted cap goes on, and you know, this one fits nice just like this. So if you want to compare the A-frame to the 5950, this is going to be a good look at that. I mean, the only difference between the 5950 A-frame and a 950 A-frame is, you know, one is a snapback, the other one is fitted. So as far as the fit and the look, you know, it should be basically what you're going to get. So 5950 on the head, New Era, and then we got the A-frame. Now with the curve, it's going to give it more of a compact look, you know what I mean? But I will say it's every bit the same size. We look at these two together, you know, the 22 hat and this one. If this 22 hat, if I curve the brim on it, then, you know, it'll probably look as more compact like this one. But I'll throw this one back on so you get another look at that one compared. You know, this would be a flat brim A-frame type hat, just to give you, you know, perspective on that. Flat brim, and then you have the curved brim. So the curve gives it a little bit more compact look, you know, if you like that sort of thing. So that's just something to consider there. So next thing up, again for the big game, you know, I'm going to be ready for the U, take it to the championship. So for that, got something nice for y'all, something that was a little bit different. You know, I love my flannel shirts, and so here we go. We got a flannel that's in Hurricanes colors, representing that U. But check this out on the back. Look at that. And that's beautiful. That is a beautiful design on there. Love that. Flannel's gonna work out nice. It's crispy and clean on the front. There's no designs on it. It's only a design on the back, which I really like about that, you know. Something fresh for the big game. So this and this, and of course, you know, I got pairs of sneakers to rock. We'll get the oxidized green joints. We'll go good with that. And now, without further ado, we'll get into the sneaker review. So, been a long time coming to get this review, but I went through some hassle because I don't know who messed this up in the shipping, but somebody damaged the box, and obviously going to be now that much more difficult to offload these or whatever if I wanted to, you know. Big thing with this was my double up pair, so, you know, now even if I wanted to flip this, it's gonna be that much harder to do it. But got one clean pair without the damaged box, one with a damaged box. That's the final boss, and that's just how it goes. Somebody's gonna screw you over in the sneaker game some way or another. But here goes the sneaker, and you can see, how good it matches the hat. Nice touch. Sometimes you got to do that. You got to find something that's gonna match the sneaker, pretty close, pretty sticking close. So you got the Jordan 11 Gamma, you got the New Era, and that's how I roll. I love my New Eras, and love my J's on the feet. So, and no matter what I have on my feet, it's gonna be a New Era on the hat. Love Ebbets flannels, love 22. Those are some of the other hat brands out there that I found, but New Era, that's my flagship. That's my favorite. I'm just, I'm gonna be partial to New Era no matter what. But here's the sneakers, just so y'all can get that 4K review on there. Beautiful. You can see the shiny patent leather on the bottom. You got the Gamma blue. Just hits real nice with that teal on the hat. Close match right there. Here's a good look at the front. You got that nylon mesh on the Gamma, as you always expect. And this is, one of the few black on black Jordan 11. So you knew this one was gonna fly. If you hesitated, he who hesitates is lost, and that's why you missed out. But otherwise, this was pretty easy to get. I think I could have got 4 or 5 pairs if I really put efforts into it. You know what I mean? But this was the holiday pair. This was a nice little send-off for me, because I think I'm gonna take a break from sneakers for a while. But I'll do some more reviews, some worn reviews, kind of go through the collection a little bit, little by little, so you can see what's out there, because sometimes there's pairs that you might go back to get, so definitely want to show those. That's going to be what's next coming up on the channel, just going through reviews from years past, or maybe even recent past, because there's a lot of pairs that I know I haven't done a review yet. So stay tuned for that. But with that, over and out.